Hey, Bob.
Hello, Steve.
How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I just don't know.
We need to find out.
I think we are. I'm finding that. So this is our fifth week of doing the Spotlight series,
Yeah.
and I'm finding it's like I start with a bang, and then we do the round table, and then I do the Spotlight, and I just start coming down a little bit.
Do the spotlight first.
Francine.
No, I said do it before the round table.
Well, the reason why I put the Spotlight later on the day is this is usually when people drive home. So I figure we might get a little bit more traction than we will at the other shows. Because usually the round table, we get more people that watch it after it's all done.
All right. So are we live now or are we going to be going live soon?
We are live. Basil just said hello. See, look.
Hello, Basil.
Basil. Yeah, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MBartist Spotlight. As you can see, living legend. Living legend, or as I say, he's not famous. He's Bob McLeod.
I just became a legend about a year and a half ago.
See, when does it happen? Like, is there a barometer there?
I guess when you turn 70. I'm not sure.
70. Oh man. In that case, I can definitely wait to be a legend. I will definitely wait. But now the reason why, let's let the audience in on it. I say that in jest to Mr. McCloud. Sorry, Bob, because we were in Chicago and you were telling me the story. Do you remember the story you told me?
No, what did I tell you?
In the airport, someone came up.
No. What?
And they're like, "You're Bob McLeod," and I was like, "That's what happens when you're not famous. You're Bob McLeod."
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you know what I didn't know is there's another famous Bob McLeod, isn't there?
There are several, actually. If he's still in office, the premier of the Northwest Territories of Canada is Bob McLeod.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. It seems like if your name is Bob McLeod, you're destined for greatness.
It's not too late to change your name, Steve.
Trust me, with the amount of kids I have, I just might do that. I've blended in with the clan McCloud. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, co-creator of the New Mutants, longtime runs on Superman. He did a run on X-Men, Spider-Man, Star Wars, G.I. Joe. The best. Any I'm missing there? I'm sure I'm missing many.
You're missing many, but it's okay.
It's okay. But anyway,
not Highlander. I was never on Highlander.
No, never on Highlander. But we're here because Bob is going to gracious us and do a little sketch for us. So as we always do, we're looking for comments from you, the little people. Just 2 requests. Number 1, you cannot request Galactus. It is on the website. I don't know if you've seen it, Bob, but I have it down there. Will not draw Galactus.
All right.
Period. But I did not put on there, and let me know, Bob, Danny Moonstar. Are we taking Danny Moonstar off the table?
No, I love drawing Danny. I love drawing other things. I draw Danny a lot, but she's always fun to draw.
All right, so we're gonna leave it out there right now. I see Basil, so let's hear from you guys out there. Let's get some requests. Give us some names. Who do you want to see? And then what we're gonna do is Bob's gonna sketch it out, and then we'll start the bidding at $40 as we always do, and then we'll go from there and see if we can pick a fight. See, the clan McCloud's just coming out in me. Did you see Highlander, Bob?
I have never watched Highlander.
Oh, really?
I have never seen it.
No.
You got a clue.
Basil says challenge. Come on, Basil. Give us somebody. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking for people to give us some ideas here. Right now, Basil is dominating the conversation. Predator. Really? Bob, have you ever drawn Predator?
You can put Predator up there with Galactus.
Yeah.
Take him off. Take Darth Vader off.
Yeah. He goes Darth Revan.
I was just ahead of him.
Basil's picking. I'm gonna try the most complicated character you probably never heard of, Bob. I got an idea. Let's start throwing some anime characters at Bob. Let's see.
I did just get some requests for characters I'd never heard of recently. I'm trying to remember who they were now. There's a, and of course I should know it because I've done so many G.I. Joe things, but there was a G.I. Joe character, like a cowboy G.I. Joe character. I forget what his name is.
Oh, Wild Bill?
Yeah, Wild Bill. Yep.
Basil says Gundam. Oh my God, Basil. All right, we're looking for any. Okay, Bob, how about you? Do you have anybody you're itching to draw maybe that we can do a bust that we can auction off?
That I'm itching to draw. I mean,
Basil says Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes is okay. One of the guys, I always is fun to draw is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
I've drawn him many times.
We got a Cyclops. We got a second person in with Cyclops. Cyclops
is good. Yeah, I like Cyclops.
Brendan goes, Brandon Moonbeam. All right, how about that? Snake Eyes or Cyclops? How about we narrow it down to that? Snake Eyes is basically Spider-Man with goggles.
Right, which makes him, to me, kind of boring to draw. So I'd rather draw Cyclops.
All right, how about we do a Cyclops? Basil, are you in for a Cyclops? Here is a funny one. Oh, Space Ghost. Mikhail Rosado says Space Ghost. Wolverine with the claws. All right, how about we do this? We got Bob doesn't want to do Snake Eyes. Let's get him off the board. We got Cyclops. We got Danny Moonbeam. How about Space Ghost? Is Space Ghost somebody you can draw? Wolverine.
Space Ghost is another one that kind of was, I think, maybe after my time. I never watched Space Ghost.
All right, we got two Wolverines. How about a Wolverine?
I like Wolverine. He's good.
All right, let's do a Wolverine. So we're going to start Wolverine. First one to put a... Basil says Dark Helmet.
I have drawn Dark Helmet before.
Have you really?
I have.
When have you drawn Dark Helmet, and where was I?
Oh, that was before I knew you. That was a commission maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago. Probably soon after the movie came out, whenever that movie came out.
Do you have a copy?
I do. I can try to pull it up sometime, maybe during the hour.
Can you please send me a copy? Because look what I got here.
Aha, there he is. Where'd you get that?
Is your Schwartz as big as mine, Bob?
Bigger, probably.
Well, I hear that's what happens when you're with the Clan Mccloud.
Yeah, well.
All right. So Wolverine. So let's kick off Wolverine. We're gonna start off at $40. First one to throw up a $40 bid, Bob will start drawing.
All right.
Kick this off at $40. We're gonna do a Wolverine.
Let's see.
And we get to watch.
I don't know if you can actually see this. If I turn this light on, it's a little too bright, maybe. I don't know.
No, that's okay. Just draw as you draw, and every once in a while, we'll just ask you to bring it up nice and close, and we'll chat as you do so.
All right.
So Bob's going to draw Wolverine. We're looking for a $40 kickstart to the Wolverine. Brandon Smith, Basil, you guys have requested. It was the first double request. So the first one to put $40 down for the Wolverine gets us kickstarted. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's way under the money. We're starting this way under the money. This is Bob McLeod, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see that those bids start flowing through. This is going to be a bust of Wolverine. Looking for a $40 kickstart. Basil, Brendan, let's see who wants to kick this off. $40. And also, guys, while we're going, periodically you'll see upper left-hand corner of your screen, we'll have Bob's catalog. And as per Bob's catalog, we're going to do some claims and you're going to get some discounts. So if you see anything you want there, just say claim Wonder Woman. So you see Wonder Woman over there, say claim Wonder Woman, and Love G will help you guys out, whether you want fine art, platinum, or canvas, and you'll get the show discounts. There's my cheat sheet. There's my cheat sheet there for the discounts. $5 off on fine art, $10 off on platinum, and you can see you get a little crazy as you get bigger canvases. So no, we're doing Wolverine, Basil. So we're looking for your Kickstarter of $40. We're looking for a Kickstarter of $40. We're doing a Bob McLeod original, which is way under the money. Bob, what is your when you're at an event, if someone says, I want a bust of Wolverine, what's your bust rate?
My current one, I believe, is 260.
So do the math, guys.
I'm going to take off my glasses because I usually draw without my glasses.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a treat. Clark Kent has taken off his glasses. He's revealed his Supermanness, and away we go. $260 is usually Bob's starting rate. We're starting this at $40. Come on, guys. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. This is Bob McLeod, co-creator of the New Mutants. If you collected at any point comic books in the 80s or 90s, you probably have a mitt full of this gentleman's books in your long box. And as you can see, we got his catalog rotating around. So just let me know if there's anybody there. And as Bob sketches away, there we go. Basil starts with 40. Matthew, you came just in behind. You just came just behind Matthew. 40. Basil's $40. So I got Basil at 40. So I'm looking for 41 or better. This is Bob McLeod. He's doing a bust of Wolverine. If you ask him to do a bust at an event, guys, you heard him. His starting bid. His rate is 260, and we're starting at 40. So
this is just a little more than a headshot rather than a bust. Let me see where. There we are. But I'm throwing in the hand and the claw.
Very cool. You're getting the claw, guys. The claw is extra. Matthew goes 41. There we go. Now we got it going. We just had to get them heated up out there, Bob. So now we went 40, 41, 42. So we're looking for 43 or better. Right now we got Basil at 42. And while we're doing that, I'm going to show off some of Bob's other works. Bob, while you're sketching, Bob, are you good with chatting while you sketch?
Sure.
So I'm sure the audience would like to know. So if you don't know, Bob influences is Mad Magazine. And one of the artists of Mad Magazine, what was the gentleman's name? Drucker?
Mort Drucker. Come on, Steve.
Sorry. It's been a day.
Mort Drucker is truly a legend. Influenced countless artists and has done Time magazine covers. He's kind of, you can't get any bigger than Mort Drucker.
Was there a specific image that gravitated to him instantly, or was it just an over time?
I mean, the first time I saw his work, I loved it. I was just in what we called junior high, middle school, probably 12 years old, and just discovered Mad Magazine and the satire. One of the first ones I remember was a satire of Batman, the TV show.
Yeah.
It was just really funny, and his artwork, you know, he made the people, the caricatures of the people look more like the people than photographs of them. It was just really, really fun to look at his artwork. And then I didn't know it at the time, but I discovered later on that he was a comic book artist before he started working for Mad. So he was really grounded in all the storytelling techniques of comic books that he incorporated into his satires and caricatures. It was just, you know, he's so amazing.
I agree. And I apologize for the faux pas. Matthew Dolan is at 43. Matthew is in, man. He spelt it out. 43. So we're looking for 44 or better. Let me know, Basil. And if anybody else wants to jump in, this is how it works. It is an auction. So this is still way under the money. We got Matthew and Basil going back and forth. If anybody wants to jump in, we're looking for 44 or better. I have a couple of Bob's comics he's done with us, his Golden Age tributes. We have his Wiz. If you want to get some of Bob's Wiz, you can just go claim Wiz, and you can get this for $10. We're going to drop this from 15 to 10. Or You can get his Chamber of Chills cover he did with us, this Golden Age tribute, for $10. And I'll tell you what, if you guys want both would usually be 20, but I'll tell you what, we'll drop it down to 18. We'll take another $2 off. So we're going to take $5 off if you want to get either one. If you want to get them both, just go Combo Comics and we'll take another $2 off and we'll go to from 20 to 18. There you go. Wiz and Chamber of Chills. Bob, of these two covers, which one did you enjoy working on more?
No, definitely the Chamber of Chills. That Wiz was a real effort, but the Chamber of Chills was fun. The original was done by Lee Elias, one of my favorite artists, and so it was fun to kind of rework something that he had done.
A cool thing you're talking there is reworking. So what was it specifically that you wanted to focus on improving or making it your own on this specific piece?
His inking is very loose, was very loose. So I wanted to do some more elaborate inking. Wanted to, my style is a little more realistic than his. So I was making the woman's face a little more realistic, just kind of modernizing it.
Cool. So we've got Matthew at 43. I'm looking for 44 better. Brandon has a question. Hey, Bob, what's the story behind the black and white TMNT print? Eastman give it to you to ink? What is the story?
Yeah. At the time, he was getting several different artists to ink over his drawings, and it was just a little very rough 8x10 sketch that he sent me. I think it was just done on copy paper. And so I actually transferred it to duotone board, which, if you don't know, that was a paper that had lines printed on it that only really came out when you added a chemical. So there was one chemical to get lines going one way, and then a second chemical to get them going the other way on top of the first ones, so that you had a light tone and a dark tone. And I just always liked working with that stuff. So I thought I'd use it on the Mutant Ninja Turtle thing, and just had some fun with it. And, really just turned his little rough sketch into much closer to my style, but still using his drawing.
Kevin Eastman's a pretty unusual cat. Like, does he reach out to you, or was someone acting as a middleman? How do you get in contact for something like that?
Yeah, this was so many years ago. I think he contacted me directly. I had met him way when he first came up to the Marvel office, trying to get Marvel to print the Turtles before he started self-publishing. And so we knew each other, and I don't remember if he emailed me or called me on the phone or what, but he contacted me himself and asked me to ink it for him.
Wait, are you telling me that Marvel had a chance to publish Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
And turned it down.
Wow. Can you imagine?
I think that's because he and Peter Laird wanted to maintain ownership of it. And, Marvel at the time didn't want that. They wanted to own everything.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to get information like this just out on the internet. That's really cool. That's a cool little tidbit.
Yeah, and you should have Kevin really tell you the story. It's a very interesting story that I don't know all the details of exactly. We talked about it last time I talked to him, but I've forgotten the details. But it's more interesting than the little tidbit I just told you.
Well, if you can hook me up, I'd love to see if Kevin Eastman would come on to one of our shows. That'd be fun.
I'll see if I can do that.
Oh, that'd be great. I appreciate that, Bob. All right, ladies and gentlemen, where are you at? We're at 43 with Matthew Dolan. I need 44 or better on this. Sorry, I just got distracted there. He's in Lexington this month. Oh, all right. Brandon, are you stalking Kevin Eastman? Brendan just said someone got fired at Marvel. Anyways, Matthew, we got Matthew at 43. I'm looking for 44 or better. Basil, let me know. This is an original Bob McLeod Wolverine, and it's sitting at $43, way under the money. There you go, Basil. Go ahead, Bob.
And it will be inked. I don't usually get real elaborate in my pencils. Here's what I got so far in the pencils, but I'm going to ink it.
Oh wow, that's so cool. You know what, Bob? I'm going to give you a compliment. When like you've done a couple Wolverines for us here at MBartist, and every time I see your Wolverine, I get nostalgia goosebumps because how you draw him is my Wolverine. How I remember him as a kid.
Thanks, very very good. Yeah, he's fun to draw. Dave Cockrum just came up with a good costume for him, I guess. It's really attractive.
Do you know the story on Wolverine? Because he was created by Liam. No.
Len Wein, and wasn't Herb Trimpe the first artist?
Yeah, Herb Trimpe. Now, originally he had like the cat mask.
Yeah.
He had the base yellow and blue with the claws, but he had like a cat mask. And I guess the story is Cockrum evolved it because he couldn't remember how it was done.
I don't know that story. I know that the cat mask didn't last very long.
No, it was like 2 episodes. It was the Hulk. 180, 181, 182, and that was it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Basil at low 44. He's Frenching it up. So we're looking for 45 or better. Uncanny. I got a comment here. Uncanny Family is just gorgeous. I love how relaxed you drew Wolvie on that. No claws, cigar, not the norm for him. And what you guys don't know is Bob originally did that for a tribute. Is that correct, Bob?
Yeah, that was just one of the drawings in this tribute book for Dave Cockrum. Everyone, God, I forget how many people, maybe 2 or 3 dozen artists they had in that tribute book, did drawings using Dave's era of the X-Men, the costumes that he designed. And, they gave us freedom to do whatever we wanted with it. It was just a contribution. We weren't being paid to do it. It was just something we did for Dave. And I just, I like drawing people doing, just more normal things instead of fighting all the time. So I just had them being, posing like real people might pose, instead of having them look all scary and tough.
You know what I loved about those early days of the Uncanny run is that as much as they were off on adventures, they would always have issues where, like, I remember they had one issue where it was just a softball game.
Yeah.
And I just remember that was kind of cool. It's like you can't always have pedal to the metal / grab run. Sometimes you got to slow it down. And I don't think they did that a lot in comics.
First issue of the New Mutants, Chris had Karma getting her hair washed in the bathroom sink on the splash page. You don't see that kind of thing very often, and that's one of the things I loved about it. Just kind of normal activities in a comic book can be a lot of fun.
So Luke, we got a new entrant into the original here. We got Luke Holbrook at 45. So we're looking for 46 or better. Bob is starting to ink Le Wolverine. And right now we're at 45, looking for 46 or better. Basil. And sorry, my computer just sketched out. Basil, Matthew, let us know. We're looking for 46 or better. And so, guys, as we said, we were just talking about this piece, Mutant Family. This is available for claim. $25 for fine art and $50 for the platinums. I have these are the PPs. And then also we were talking about this one earlier. Here's the piece you did for Eastman. And this is available as well. Now, I remember when we talked about that, I asked if we could color this, and you said,
I mean, I think it works so much better in tone. I don't think it would be. And I've tried doing a little simple color just to see what it would look like. I just think it works better in tone. You know, not everything has to be in color.
and the original Turtle Run was black and white. So the only time you got color on the turtles was on the cover. So I don't know if for the nostalgic person in me, I almost prefer turtles in black and white. I also prefer them all in red bandanas. I don't know whose crazy idea was it to do the Crayola turtles, but anyways, that's neither here nor yon. Anyways, we're at Basil comes back at 46, so we're looking for 47 or better. Luke, Matthew, where are you at? I'm looking for 47 or better on this original drawing by Bob McLeod of Wolverine. So let's go back to the Mad Comics, Mr. Trucker. Is there a specific image that jumps to mind when you think of him?
One of my favorites was I think it was maybe the first panel of the satire he did of a movie, HUD, starring Paul Newman. And it's a big fight scene. All these guys in a bar in a Western saloon having a big fight with Paul Newman. And you know, it's just really well done and really funny. And he even threw Frankenstein in there. So it's just, I mean, I just enjoy everything he did, really.
Very cool. Eric, see if you can find that. HUD from Mad Magazine. Luke jumps it up. We're going back and forth now. We got a little bit of a brawl going on here, Bob, for the Wolverine as it's flushing out. Luke 45, Basil 46, and then Luke comes back and jumps at $2 to 48. So we're looking for 49 or better. Still well under the money, guys. Bob McLeod. It's not every day you're going to get an original from him. Bob, was Matt Drucker around when Star Wars came out? Did he do the run of Star Wars in the Mad Magazine?
Mort Drucker,
sorry.
Yes, he did. He was around way before Star Wars. He started Mad in the 60s.
Do you remember a Mad Magazine centerfold of the Star Wars Cantina? And it had the standard aliens, but then they would mix in like the celebrities and everything?
Yeah.
Was that him?
Sure, I'm sure it was. I mean, it's been done since him, so probably some other artists did it as well, but he definitely did that.
Very cool. See, there you go. Now you're tapping into my memory banks there as well. Basil comes back and says 50. We're at the half century mark. We're looking for 51 or better. And we're halfway through, so we've got 30 more minutes. So we're looking for 51 or better. And ladies and gentlemen, we were joking earlier, Bob, when I told the other artists that you were doing the spotlight, and they wanted to know what did I have to do to bribe you to string that many 12 minutes together? So there you go. So guys, we've been talking about a little tidbit we just learned is that Kevin Eastman took Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Marvel before going indie. That's amazing. And one of the things that Bob and I we have lots of conversations, and I always get these little tidbits out of him that are always fun discussion points. Like, let's talk about another famous run you did with Kraven's Hunt. I always love coming back and talking about the story of the missed opportunities of Kraven's Hunt. Have you ever gone back and wondered what would a Captain America Kraven's Hunt been like?
I mean, I guess you could have done it with a lot of different heroes. I think it ended up being the best combination with him and Kraven, but certainly not what anybody expected it to be as it was getting developed. You know, it started out with Batman and the Joker over at DC, and then he brought it over to Marvel. And, you know, Kraven was not his first choice for a villain, and he just kept, you know, working with it and thinking about it before it finally coalesced into the way that it is.
What other Spider-Man villains was he toying with?
Oh, I don't remember exactly. Just the more major ones, probably. What's his name?
Goblin,
Green Goblin would probably be the first obvious choice.
right?
Um, and maybe the reason he didn't use the Goblin is they were doing something with the Green Goblin around the same time, possibly.
Right. Cool.
I mean, again, you got to hear Mark DeMatteis tell the story. It's a really long, interesting story how that series developed, and I'm just not great with all those details.
Well, maybe that's another person you could be so kind to hook me up with, and we can do a show. We could do a show with him as well. But we've got Basil at $50. I'm looking for 51 or better. Luke, let me know where you at. Oh, look, there's some Mad Magazine popping up there. I have no idea why that one's up there.
I don't think that was the issue.
Matthew, where are you at? We're looking to see if Matthew and Luke goes 51. Luke says, "Thank you for your time today, Bob," and 51. So let's go 52.
Here's the ink so far.
Very cool. So it looks like Basil's been in this since game one. We haven't heard from Matt in a while, but Luke is going back and forth. So we're at 52 with Basil. So let me go through. So we walked through some turtles. There's some turtles. We talked about X-Men. Oh, here's a run. Let's talk about the run everybody can't believe you worked on.
Let me guess.
You want to take a wild guess?
G.I. Joe.
Yep, G.I. Joe. I have G.I. Joe here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Let's start with number 1. There you go. G.I. Joe number 1. So we all know you love to draw guns, Bob. How did you get stuck on G.I. Joe?
Well, believe it or not, Marvel used to use me as their kind of go-to guy to fix up isn't the right word, but enhance pencils. And on that job, it was around the time where they were, even though he'd had a long, great career at Marvel, they were starting to think Herb Trimpe's art was looking old-fashioned, which is a shame. You know, he still had plenty of fans, but the editors just thought it was not looking the way they wanted it to look. And so they brought me on to kind of modernize his style and make it more in line with the vision they had for the series. So I changed. I didn't redraw things, but I just kind of enhanced a lot of his drawing to add rendering and change rendering and just change certain things about it to kind of update his style.
Yeah, I remember you sent me the original pencils. It was still very much encompassing with what he envisioned.
Sure.
And of course, you had quite the run on G.I. Joe. I have a couple more of the covers here. Here's G.I. Joe 63, and of course, a very cool Coco, G.I. Joe 100. How many covers did you do for G.I. Joe?
Must be at least a couple dozen, quite a few. Mostly over Mike Zeck, but also a lot over Ron Wagner. He did one over Marshall Rogers. A lot of different pencilers. Probably, God, how many issues of G.I. Joe were there? It's probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 that I inked.
So just out of curiosity, like, would you like do a G.I. Joe and then go on to a couple other covers and then circle back and do another one? Like, was it a rotation type thing, or was it just completely random?
For a while, it was every month. You know, I would just do the G.I. Joe cover every month. But I was doing a lot of other covers around that same period. So, you know, I was inking a lot of covers at that time, and I don't remember the exact years, but probably also penciling on a regular series or inking a regular series also. There was a time I was really busy doing a lot of different books.
So speaking of other different books, so we've talked about G.I. Joe. We'll tuck that away for a second. Out of curiosity, Basil says 56.1. No, we're going to round that down, Basil. We're not going to take your dime. So we got Basil at 56, looking for 57 or better. So before I bring up the next covers you worked on, is there a book that you missed out on that you wish you had a chance to draw during that time period?
I mean, not really. I was lucky enough to do pretty much all the major characters. I never penciled Batman in his own book. I did him as a guest star in a Superman issue, but I never really penciled Batman much. So it would have been fun to do some issues of Batman as a penciler, even though I inked it for a couple of years over Graham Nolan.
Very cool. Basil's at 57. I'm looking for 58 or better. And that obviously segues. I know this is a favorite for a lot of our audience. When did you start doing Star Wars?
Shortly after I left the New Mutants, I went over to Pacific Comics and did a couple jobs for them. And then the editor at Marvel offered me the Star Wars assignment. Their penciler, and I forget who it was right before me, had just left. Maybe it was Walt Simonson, switched and went on to a different series. And they needed someone to do breakdowns on Star Wars. And, who would turn that down? So I was excited to get that job.
Was it hard doing the likenesses, or did you not really worry about it?
Well, I like doing likenesses because I started out imitating Mort Drucker doing caricatures. So it's not that I worried about them, but I was only doing breakdown pencils. I wasn't doing finished pencils. So the finish details in the likenesses was more up to the inker, Tom Palmer, who had been the inker on Star Wars for, years. So I didn't worry too much about it, but I did try to make them basically look like the characters.
Cool. Star Wars. A lot of Star Wars fans. What did you do more covers of? Star Wars or G.I. Joe?
A lot more G.I. Joe. I was only on Star Wars for about 6 issues, maybe.
Luke, if you like the Yoda, feel free to claim it. If you like the Yoda, feel free to claim it. We have it in fine art and platinum. You know that. Or if you want to go crazy, we've got lots of canvases. Can you tell us the story on this one? Lando Calrissian?
That was a commission. Somebody wanted a drawing of Lando, and they had seen my Star Wars cover with Leia hanging off the edge of the cliff. And so he said, why don't you have Lando hanging off the edge of one of those buildings from the, what was it, the Cloud City or whatever. So that was the idea for it.
Look, it's that easy, guys. Luke just claimed the fine art Yoda. There you go. Congratulations, Luke. And we've got Basil at 57, so we're looking for 58 or better on this original Wolverine that Bob is working on right now. So last week, John Hebert was on, and he basically told the story about when he did the Millennium Falcon on his Star Wars #1 reimagination, that if he never had to draw the Falcon again, he'd be perfectly fine with that. Did you have the same feeling when you did the Falcon?
Yeah, it's no fun. It's a lot of little details. And luckily, when I was drawing the series, Tom Palmer was putting in most of those details. So I would give him the basics, put things where they were supposed to be, and then he would just keep adding little stuff here and there.
So that would that be the animation equivalent of an in-betweener? Where you would do the basic.
It's hard to relate comic books to animation. They're very different. In-betweeners aren't really the same, but it's in that direction, I guess.
And we're looking for 58. We're at 57 with Basil. We're looking for 58 or better. And we were just talking about your Amazing Spider-Man Kraven's Hunt. Let's show some of the covers. So we've got this one is part 6, and then we have part 5. I guess I'm doing this backwards. Of the 6 parts, how many of the issues did you work on for Kraven's Hunt, Bob?
Do you know the answer to that, Steve?
I'm guessing 4 out of 6.
I did all of them, the whole series. Why would I only do 4?
Because I only have 4 here. Well, if that's the case, are you going to be able to send me the high res for the other ones so I can round off a set?
Yeah, sure.
Please do. And how sick are you of drawing this one? I hear this is a very popular request when you're doing commissions.
Spider-Man coming out of the grave. I have done that at least half a dozen times. I even inked one over Mike Zeck's pencils of Batman coming out of the grave.
Did you ever vary it up? Like, you know how Joe will do the Wolverine #1 for different characters? You ever do that for the Spider-Man?
I've had Howard the Duck coming out of the grave.
Oh, do you have that? I'd love to see that.
I've got a scan of it, yeah.
Oh, send me that with the Spaceballs if you don't mind. As you can tell, I have a very eclectic taste. Howard the Duck and Spaceballs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got one claim for Yoda. It's that easy. We're showing off Life and Times of Bob McLeod. We're at 57 for the Wolverine. He's inking it up. As you can see, the claws are going in as we speak. We're looking for 58 or better. 58 or better. So would you say that the Kraven's Hunt was probably the run that actually gave Kraven the Hunter the popularity he enjoys now?
Oh, for sure. He was not any kind of major player before that series. That's all Mark DeMattison, Mike Zeck, and myself making him famous.
So I'm going to pull out one that's like, if there was one book that is so not Bob McLeod, it's probably this one. And I'm sure everybody wants to know, how the hell did you get this one? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I don't.
What is the most non-Bob McLeod comic book? Well, it's got to be this dude.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm not known for horror. I had come back to Marvel after working on Superman at DC, and I had left Superman because I wanted to ink my own pencils. And so Danny Fingeroth, the editor at Marvel, had that job available and gave it to me as kind of a favor because he knew it would get me some good royalties.
So did you do just the one book or did you do a run?
It was a 3-issue miniseries.
And you did all 3?
Yeah, sure. I didn't ink the 3rd one because they set the deadline before I started, and I was trying really hard to do my absolute best work on it, which can't be done in a hurry. And the deadline was getting close, and he said, "We're gonna have to get somebody else to ink the 3rd issue." So,
who inked the 3rd issue? Do you know?
Harry Candelario.
Oh, for a second there, it would have been ironic if it was Joe. I thought they only kept Joe in the bullpen.
It would have been nice to have Joe ink it. I'm not sure what he was working on at the time.
Oh, wouldn't that be around the time where he was knee deep in the Marvel Universe books?
Well, he was inking a lot of stuff at the same time he was doing Marvel Universe. Joe, he doesn't sleep. He just works. Yeah,
well, every once in a while he's got to go back in the coffin. You know what I'm saying? All right. So speaking of which, Joe's going to be our spotlight artist for next week. So stay tuned for that. And you know, Joe heard that you were doing this week, and he's like, "Oh yeah, tell McLeod that when he's done to hold my beer." All right. So here's a question: Venom. Did you enjoy drawing Venom, or what was it that? Talk to me about drawing Venom. Likes, dislikes.
Well, what I enjoyed about it was that I was able to ink my own pencils. That was the main thing I wanted to do all through my career. So even though the character, it was him and Morbius, the living vampire, were the main characters. And even though those are not my favorite characters, I was determined to do my best work on them. So, you're always going to enjoy doing your best work. So I did what I could.
Mikhail, Basil, if you like this so much, feel free to claim it. We've got the fine art here for $25, and we've got the platinum here, shiny, for $50. Yeah, Basil says you did great, so he loved your version of Venom.
Thanks very much.
And he says he already has it. All right, so we've kind of stole that $57 on the drawing here, guys. I'm looking for 58 or better. Matt, Luke, let me know if you're going to pump it up. We've got 14 minutes left for this drawing, and then we're going to wrap it up. So we're looking for 48 or better. 58 or better. We're at 57 right now. So we're looking for 58 or better. So here's an interesting one, and it's your favorite person you love to draw. What's the story on this one?
I didn't ink that or pencil it. That's John Buscema's artwork, and I was hired just to color it as a commission.
Oh, really?
First and maybe only time I've been asked just to do coloring. So I had a lot of fun with this, just watercolors, colored inks.
It's beautiful.
Thanks very much.
Was the drawing originally a commission as well, or is this from...
It's a commission by John, yeah.
Oh, wow. If only we were there back in the day. Very cool.
Yeah, John was my favorite penciler to ink over, so I would have liked to ink that as well, but he had already inked it himself.
I love how he does Silver Surfer, like that. His Surfer cover for the number 4 issue of him and Thor, just phenomenal. Like, you don't get better than that. Did you do any books of Fantastic Four at all?
Did I what?
Fantastic Four.
I penciled a miniseries of the Fantastic Four called Domination Factor, I think, written by Dan Jurgens. That did pencils and inks on that for, I think, 3 issues.
Oh, cool.
And I did a couple covers, inked a couple covers. I inked an annual with the Fantastic Four in the X-Men annual number 5.
So do you think that drawing FF is boring? Like, do you think they're boring, or did you enjoy it?
No, I don't think they're boring at all. I had a lot of fun with them. I love drawing the Thing. Mr. Fantastic's fine. Human Torch. They're all fun.
So can I share a pet peeve that I hate about the Human Torch? Do you remember how, like, back in the day, the Human Torch, they used to call him Matchstick, right? Because they would draw him like a burnt matchstick. And then now with the Photoshop and everything, they Photoshop the flames so you can still see him inside of it. I don't like that. I miss the old school Human Torch.
Yeah, I have not seen the new Human Torch like that.
Oh, it's horrible. I hate it. Anyways, that's just my own personal pet peeve. Brendan says, I always know Bob's Cannonball when I see him. Can you talk about the story about how you came with the look of Cannonball?
Yeah, I wanted the kids in the New Mutants to look like normal teenagers. I didn't want them to look like Superman and Wonder Woman. So when I got to Cannonball, designing Cannonball, I wanted to just do a real kind of hillbilly looking guy, with big ears and kind of gawky looking. So it kind of brought some Mort Drucker style into designing him.
And do you find that that they didn't maintain that? Do you find that they didn't maintain that much after you left the book? That they kind of made him GQ like everybody else?
I know what is with that. They want everybody to be big and handsome and buff, and that's not Cannonball. I quit looking at the book when I left the book for that reason. I didn't want to see how they were going to homogenize them like everybody else.
And another cool note, now we're talking about the New Mutants, is you intentionally made sure to have more girls than guys on the team.
Yeah, when we were coming up with the team, I mentioned to Chris, I like drawing girls and you like writing girls, so why don't we have more girls on the team? It's never been done before that I know of. Every other team would have like a token female.
What the hell? Oh, sorry, my 5-year-old. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, my 5-year-old discovered how to use Facebook on her iPad. Ladies and gentlemen,
the beginning, Steve.
Oh, I know. The phone is the greatest and worst invention for a parent.
Doesn't your 5-year-old have an iPad yet?
She does have an iPad. That's the problem. She has an iPad, and her sisters rigged it so that she could. I have a 5-year-old, 2 11-year-olds, and a 14-year-old. And the 2 11-year-olds did one time a call on Facebook of the whole family. And I'm not just talking the family. I'm talking like my parents, my wife's parents. So my 5-year-old figured out how to push the button to repeat that call. And she'll do it at the most inopportune times. Anyways, I've had to apologize relentlessly to my in-laws and to my mom. Anyways, back to the New Mutants. This isn't about me. This is about Bob. And ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, he's putting the final touches on that Wolverine. And we're sitting at 57 with Basil. So if you want to take that Wolverine home with you, Bob McLeod original, we're looking for 58 or better, which is still way under the money. You go to a show. This is a $200 original drawing all day long. So let's see those bids. We're looking for 58 or better, and you've got 8 minutes left. 8 minutes left. Bob, why did you leave the New Mutants?
I was so rushed on that series. I wasn't happy with the way the artwork was looking. I had an inexperienced inker. And because I was rushed on the pencils, it was putting a lot of pressure on him to try to get the artwork looking the way I wanted. And that's why I switched over to inking from penciling after the first 3 issues, just trying to control the look of the art more. And after a few issues doing that, I just wasn't happy with the way the art was looking. I wanted to do something, again, where I could pencil and ink it and make it look the way I wanted. Salvi Sima, that was doing the layouts for me, is a wonderful artist, but he just doesn't draw the way I like to draw. So I just wasn't happy with the way the artwork looked.
Which is unfortunate because I think it was issue 2 or issue 3 where you have them going up against the Sentinels, and there was some great posing in there that I think you could have turned into posters. Like you have one of Cannonballs coming out of the chest.
Yeah.
Like how can you not get more dramatic than that?
I just did a painting of that scene, not that particular scene, but Cannonball crashing through a Sentinel as a commission for someone.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. All right. So Basil, we can't call it yet. We've got 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left. But you are in the lead, 57. I'm looking for 58 better for the Wolverine. So what did you do? Where did you go after the New Mutants?
Remember I said I went over to Pacific Comics, did a couple of jobs for them. I did a job called Stargrazers and a job called Anaconda. And then had trouble getting paid by them, so came running back to Marvel.
Did you ever do any issues of Hulk?
Yeah, I inked several issues of the Hulk over Dale Keown.
Because I love your Hulk.
Yeah, I like drawing the Hulk, and I never got to draw him as a penciler, but I had a lot of fun inking Dale's Hulk.
So what's your philosophy when you draw Hulk? Because I'm showing everybody your Spidey Scramble here. I love this piece. And
I don't always draw him the same, but basically a tiny head, big body, big hands, big feet.
Now, if only you could have him going off of the Empire State Building swatting at airplanes.
Yeah, well, I think the Hulk, should be kind of a cartoon, not a realistic Frankenstein type character, but I think he's more fun when you keep him a little bit in the cartoon realm.
Very cool. Now, while we're winding up here, we got 4 minutes left. We're still looking for 58 or better on the Wolverine. Let's talk about something I know. We've talked a lot about comics, but let's talk about something I know that's a little bit more near and dear to your heart. You love to paint. So talk to us about painting. Like, what do you like? What do you like to do? Why do you like painting better? Like, what is it about it, the medium, that really, is it relaxing? Is it just, talk to us about painting.
Well, it's not, I mean, it can be relaxing, but mainly I've done black and white artwork, for over 40 years, and never really got much chance to work in color. So it's more just trying to do something different is why I'm interested in painting at the moment. When I was starting out in my 20s, I had no interest at all in painting. I didn't want to be a painter. I wanted to be a cartoonist. But after doing it for 40 years, you start wanting to do something different. So I've been doing some painting. I did a couple painting commissions, and my next painting is going to be just a landscape. Some friends of ours own a working mill, so I'm going to do a landscape painting of the mill.
Cool. Do you prefer oil, acrylic, wash, watercolor?
I really like oils, but most of the time I've done watercolor and acrylics, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do the mill with acrylics or oils.
Cool. All right, so we've got 3 minutes left. We're winding it down. So we're at 57 still, Basil. We're going to throw up the 2-minute counter. Let's throw up that 2-minute counter. So this is how it works. The counter goes down. If we get no more bids, it's Basil's. And then if someone does bid, we reset the clock, and then we keep going. Eric, I don't care if it's 1 minute or 2 minute, whatever you got handy. Let's throw it up there. Right now I see black. We need a counter, or do I just start counting?
Steve, I hope you're impressed that I finished this right down to the last minute.
There you go. I think timing is everything, sir. There we go. 1 minute timer. We got 54 seconds there. Look how cool that is. Bob McLeod, clean lines, folks. We're at 57. 47 seconds left. 57 with Basil. I'm looking for 58 or better. If we don't get another bid, this is coming to you, Basil. And Lovejeet will get in touch with you on all the particulars. Bob, that was an hour that just flew by.
It did.
Did you enjoy it? Would you come back and do it again?
That's asking a lot, Steve. I don't know.
I know we're stringing a lot of. What if I just did it for 12 minutes?
Now you're talking. I can't do much drawing in 12 minutes.
I know, we would have to prep something. Anyways, there we go.
I would come back again at some point.
At some point. All right. We'll get my people to talk to your people. Anyways, Look at that. Congratulations, Basil. You have won $57, a bust, original by not someone famous, but by Bob McLeod. Bob, I want to thank you for your time. It's been fantastic. I hope you don't mind the questions that we've been throwing at you, taking a walk in the park of Bobland.
It's always fun to talk about the many jobs I was lucky enough to be able to work on.
Well, now that we've kind of done a walk in Bob Park, I'm going to really have to do my homework to come up with something interesting to talk about next time.
I did autograph it. You want me to personalize it?
Well, let's. Bob says, "Can you sign it?" Basil, would you like it personalized, or you just want the name? This is your chance to let Bob know. He will let you know in 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Well, you know what? We'll get Love G to talk to Basil. But anyways, Mr. Bob McLeod, I want to thank you for your time. Just the name. Basil says just the name.
All right. It's on there.
Sign it, Bond, James Bond. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to catch up with Bob, his first show is going to be Motown Philly. He'll be in Motown Philly in April. So if you're in the neck of the woods, feel free to come out and get your own Bob McLeod commission. You can pre-book him at MBartist.com, as well as pick up some of his other stuff, his comics, art prints, all available there. So until next time, from whereabouts are you specifically? I think it's like Maryland, right? You're in Maryland, Bob?
That's somewhere in the vicinity. I'm in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay, we'll just say Pennsylvania. So from Pennsylvania in the Great White North, good night, everybody.
All right.